score in 8 minutes and they edge back in front. Conleth Gilligan involved at the heart of it, spotted the space. Muldoon filled that space. Point the result, 4-3 Derry. John Brennan won't be happy with the amount of space that was afforded to Eamon Callaghan as he won that ball now. Tomas O'Connor, he's gone away from McCloy. He's got 1 point already. O'Connor lays it off to Kelly, and Kelly puts it over the bar. Level for the third time. He did the sensible thing, could have had a crack at trying to bury this in the back of the net, but it was crowded in there. Derry behind for the first time in the game. Joe Diver. Sean Leo McGoldrick. Muldoon is the furthest forward, also sneaking forward Charlie Keelt as Mark Lynch has it. Now James Keelt, and Lynch has spotted a gap and goes. Mark Lynch for Derry. Muldoon is in there. Was he in the square? The referee, Sil Doyle, who disallowed that Graham Geraghty goal in the Leinster Championship earlier in the summer, has gone in to consult with the umpires again. This has a very familiar ring to it. Roll back a few weeks to the Kildare-Meath match. The flags crossed to signal that it was a square ball. Mark Lynch. Derry ball. Declan Mullen wanted it early and he's got it early. Enda Muldoon in a good position to his right. Mullen going for a hat-trick of points and he's got it. And just like Enda Muldoon, if they can get the ball to this guy, he knows how to slot it over the bar, certainly. 29th minute, and the sides are level for the 6th time. And nothing between the teams again. Owen O'Flaherty for James Kavanagh. McGuckin committed himself far too early. Tomas O'Connor waiting inside, and Kavanagh took the point. He may have been trying to place this high into the corner away from Danny Devlin. Now it's Joe Diver, loves to run with the ball at pace. Diver steadies down there, 2 points behind, and now they're only 1 in arrears. That's a good score from Joe Diver. Diver and Friel have been a potent force in that Derry midfield all year. Kavanagh and Tomas O'Connor in there. It's come to James Kavanagh of Kildare, and he likes that, and they're putting on a real powerful spurt as we head towards half-time. No foul there. Here's Enda Muldoon. Won an Ulster medal with Derry back in 1998. Joe Diver. Mark Lynch. They continue to slide sideways. Jared O'Kane from 45 metres out. And that's a very fine score from Jared O'Kane. Kildare prepared to give him the opportunity to shoot, and he took it, and a goal between them once more. Once more it's Tomas O'Connor, that two-man full forward line, and O'Connor is out ahead of McCloy. Now Ollie Lyons, James Kavanagh, that side suits him, and the Kildare crowd greet the point from James Kavanagh. Simple score, they did the hard work out the field. Hugh McGrillen. Another massive boot forward. Kavanagh and O'Connor collide, and O'Connor has it. And they're starting to pull clear. Very impressive stuff from Kildare. The long ball in to this lethal full forward, paying dividends. Fortunate was Niall Hawley, no question about that. Here's Jared O'Kane. Can they engineer a goal? They had a goal disallowed in the first half for a square ball. Here's Conleth Gilligan. He'll be happy enough to get a point out of it at this stage with just over 10 minutes to go. Kildare unable to put them away. 4 points between the teams again. This is the time of the game when Kildare really put serious pressure on their opposition. even though they lead by 4. James Kavanagh. It's a really good score from James Kavanagh. 17 points to 12. Very efficient, and he's made his point. James Kavanagh coming out very deep to try and get the ball. They are all hungry for possession. Morgan O'Flaherty of Kildare. Padraig O'Neill staying involved. Steadies down, shoots from way out, and that is a glorious point from Padraig O'Neill. 6 points between them. They hammered Derry in last year's qualifiers, and they're closing in on a place in the All-Ireland quarter-finals yet again. A 5-point game at the moment. Ronan Sweeney for Kildare makes it 6. Lovely score from Sweeney, and their place, in fairness, in the quarter-final draw was secured long before this. It's all over as Emmett Bolton kicks the ball forward, and Kildare are in the All-Ireland quarter-finals for the 4th successive year. A very impressive performance. That 5-minute spell before half-time put some daylight between themselves and Derry. Kildare, the better team on the day. They're in the quarter-final draw again. They have beaten Derry by 19 points to 13.
It was very workmanlike today. We knew there was going to be a backlash from Derry. In terms, it's probably felt a wee bit done by last week. Like they should have had a penalty and stuff like that. They could have really made a game of it against Donegal. But you know, coming here, I know a lot of the fellas expected Kildare to win, but it was good to be able to deal with the expectations and get a result.
They worked harder than us today. That's the bottom line. Picked up a lot of ball that I thought we should have got with harder work. And again, we had good players there today who didn't perform as they're capable of performing. And I find it hard to understand. You get to Croke Park, that you don't put your body on the line. And I'm disappointed in that. But I respect Kildare, respect their management, and they deserve to win, and I hope they do very well.
Yeah, well done, Kildare. They march on. Their supporters in the tweets are very happy. A couple of Derry people unhappy about the goal, and they felt it was a key time, the disallowed goal.
Oh, yes, yeah. Well, I suppose it was a key time in the game, and was it a goal or not? It was marginal whether it was or not. Joe McMahon looked more in the square than we'll see on this one here now as it comes in.
And he was flying in, of course. It was wild hard to tell.
So here we have the ball, a diagonal ball in. Fantastic run in by Mark Lynch, who had a quite enough game yesterday anyway. And it was marginal whether it was in the square or not. He looks like he was just on the verge of it, or you can't say definitively whether he was in there or not, but he should nearly get the benefit of the doubt, I think, because he dived in from the outside.
I mean, you really never see a square ball being given in that situation, and you know, which is why they generally, I mean, there were Kildare people all around me, and everybody just assumed it was a goal because a man's flying in, the ball comes across. It's very, very difficult to say.
But without the two Bradleys, Joe, I think even if they got the goal, they couldn't have beaten Kildare.
The difference between...
Without the two Bradleys, they couldn't. They hadn't enough.
That's right. That's fair enough. I mean, it's like Donegal not having Murphy and McFadden, for example. But having said that, I think that John Brennan is right, that Derry weren't serious about the game. Derry weren't, you know, they appreciate that it was a confidence blow what happened in the Ulster final, and very demoralising, particularly the way Donegal totally dominated us. But nonetheless, we didn't go out and give it a proper blast. And you could sense, even when Derry were well in the game, that we weren't absolutely serious about it. Whereas Kildare played, you know, with that calmness and conviction that Kieran McGuinney's talking about.
Your defence either couldn't cope with O'Connor and Cavan.
Well, we're porous at the back.
Let's give Kildare a bit of credit here.
Yeah.
18 points, good score.
Great scoring. Johnny Doyle's freeze